What you're seeing right there are crowds gathering in front of St. John's Church in Lafayette Square. Of course, that was site of the moment where President Trump went across that street as protesters were out there for the Black Lives Matters movement, brandish a Bible surrounded by military leaders and members of his cabinet, including the Attorney General, William Barr. Pierre Thomas, racial issues bubbled beneath the surface all through the presidency, bubbled up above the surface at Charlottesville and in so many protests across the country this summer. It will be Joe Biden's job to heal those divisions as well.
You're absolutely right, George. I'm sitting here thinking as this race gets called that Joe Biden put together one of the most diverse voting blocks that the country's ever seen. He got more votes than any other presidential candidate in history, including Barack Obama. And I was thinking about George Floyd and how that horrific death seemed to galvanize people of all races, all demographics, all ages to say there were certain things that needed to change. And Joe Biden, at least, from the empathy standpoint, seemed to try to address both sides. Yes, we have to support law enforcement, but if you think that there's not systemic racism in law enforcement, then you're probably wrong. And the country seemed to agree with that. The other thing, George, that strikes me about this announcement today is that clearly 68 million plus people, 69 million plus people voting for Donald Trump. There are a lot of good people who voted for Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, you had a lot of people, particularly people of color, notwithstanding whatever inroads President Trump made with African-American males and Hispanic males, who felt like that Donald Trump was poking them in the eye from the very beginning. The Make America Great Again for many African-Americans harken back to, well, what kind of America are you talking about? Back in the day, it wasn't so great for African-Americans. So this was, in many ways, would people vote for someone that they wanted to defeat? Usually people vote for someone they really love. I didn't get the sense from a lot of people in some of the data that we saw that people were necessarily in love with Joe Biden, but they felt that he was a better person in terms of bringing people together and at least respecting diversity, George.